That's how we can operate most in our feminine energy.
Am I really that much to handle? Breaking these niggas down like a camera. You don't really know you are.
Hey beauties! If this is your first time seeing me, hello, welcome. My name is Nicole and I create a lot of content on how to live a more beautiful life. So if that's something that interests you, definitely hit the subscribe button on this channel to join our community. And drop a comment on this video so we can start the girl chat and just talk about how we are on our journey to living a more beautiful life. Today's video is all about radiating feminine energy, how we're going to accomplish that. I think every woman, especially when you get to your late 20s, 30s, you really want to channel your feminine energy. Whether you are just starting your journey to being your most feminine self, or you're looking to deepen your connection with your most feminine self, I'm going to walk you through a step-by-step guide on how I really got into channeling my feminine energy and how I really got to the place I am today. I was not always this girl. I was not always radiating this feminine energy just naturally. I was operating in my masculine energy, and I just want to walk you through the step-by-step guide on how I did this. It's a process, so we're going to walk through that and talk through that today. We are going to cover this in 5 parts so we can really break down how you can radiate your feminine energy. I really hope this video helps you achieve your goal in living a more soft and feminine life. Let's dive in. Okay, so part 1, we're gonna get into just understanding what feminine energy means. I think before we really dive into how we're gonna radiate feminine energy and how we're gonna accomplish this and show up as our most feminine self, we really have to understand, what does feminine energy mean? So what I want y'all to understand is feminine energy is not just about how you look. It's a part of it for sure, but it's not just about how you look. It's also not just about how you act. It's not about looking or acting a certain way. It's really about your inner qualities, your creativity, your intuition, your empathy, your nurturing nature, just all of these. It's an energy. It's more than just the physical. It's everything combined, but it's really the essence of you. You know, how you show up, how you care for other people, how you empathize with other people, how free you are in yourself. All of those things matter when it comes to feminine energy. While masculine energy focuses more on action and structure, feminine energy is more about flow, connection, and being present. Being present in the moment. Now everyone has balance of both masculine and feminine energy. We're humans, so we kind of have a little bit of both. As women, we want to operate more in the feminine energy. Ultimately, we're supposed to be partners in life. Men and women want to balance each other out. So women operating more in the feminine is where we want to be. So radiating feminine energy is about tuning into qualities that help you feel more centered and connected. Feminine energy also means being more open-minded, especially in a romantic relationship. There are a lot of women out here that operate in their feminine energy, and on my journey to really trying to radiate feminine energy, a lot of what I did was look at the women that I aspire to be. Certain women that I'm like, I see them and I'm like, oh my God, like she is just so soft and she just seems like her life is easy and she's happy. Kind of pointing out those people and what the qualities are in those women that stand out to me. Now, I recommend on your journey, or you know, if you're continuing your journey to radiate feminine energy, I recommend you finding these women. These could be celebrities that you only know certain things about, but you like qualities that they possess. Or these could be women in your day-to-day life. It could be your neighbor. It could be a coworker that every time you see this person, this woman, she comes off as so soft and just put together and just radiating this feminine energy. Like she is poised and she smells good and she looks happy and she's smiling at people and she doesn't come off as bitter. It's look for these women and kind of take notes. Honestly, that's one of the things that I did to really be like, okay, we are no longer going to be walking around bitter. We're no longer going to be working harder than we have to, because especially as single women, sometimes we feel like we have to do it all. We have to kind of be macho and masculine to be able to take control of our lives because we're doing it by ourselves. But it's okay, like you can still radiate in feminine energy while still being an independent woman. Now I'll give y'all an example of one of my inspirations on my feminine energy journey. Some people may understand or relate, some people may not. But one of the women that I always looked at and like, she radiates feminine energy to me. I don't know her personally, but it's J-Lo. So every time I would see J-Lo perform or doing interviews, she's always smiling and laughing, and like her skin is glowing and she's put together and she just seems so fun. I think that's another aspect of feminine energy, is just feeling fun and flowy and not overthinking situations, or at least not coming off that way. And that was one of my issues in the past, and it's still a little bit of a struggle today, but just being flowy. And I feel like J-Lo is one of those women that I see. Every time I see her, she's not looking grouchy or bitter. She is like really, I just want to be around her. She feels like she radiates feminine energy. So as you really think about what feminine energy is, how to radiate it, and find your inspiration, I want you to just use that understanding and visualize who you want to be and how you want to show up as this feminine woman. Okay, so the second part on how we're going to radiate feminine energy and how we're really going to step into that is embracing self-care and sensuality. One of the best ways to connect with your feminine energy is self-care, making self-care a priority. And by self-care, I mean slowing down and taking the time to nurture yourself inside and out. This could look like a long bath, journaling, meditation. There's a lot of things. So don't think that self-care has to be expensive. Don't think that self-care has to be time consuming, but the key is we need to slow down and make time for it. Make time to sit with ourselves. Make time to do the things we enjoy within ourselves, because if we can slow down and really take care of ourselves, that will bring balance to our lives and allow us to show up in a positive way, in a flowy spirit, and being able to operate in a more feminine energy. Now, as a part of self-care, some people say this in other videos too, but it's a real thing. When you look good, you feel good. So if you like the way you show up without putting effort into what you look like, then that's okay, because that's not causing any friction within your energy. But if you are frustrated with not liking how you show up physically, whether it's your hair, your skin, your nails, your makeup, your outfit, whatever it is, fine. But for me, I do like to be put together, and I think that is a feminine quality. That is something, if we see a woman who's put in effort into how she looks in her outfit, her hair, just looking polished, it radiates feminine energy. I am the type of girl who took a long break from even like getting my nails done, because I'm just like, I have a new baby. Certain things were not a priority. And it was in the moment where I realized, you know what? I'm gonna find time for all of the things I need to do. It just takes a little organization, prioritizing your schedule, but you really need to take the time to do these things, because how many women do you know when they get their hair done, they're like, they're feeling themselves, because it's a real thing. Like when you look good, you feel good. Prioritize the time to do that. So self-care also could look like conditioning your hair, making sure that your hair is not dry and brittle. So really taking the time to do that. Or your nails. You know, I've been doing my nails myself lately because I am on a budget, and I feel like a lot of the salons I've gone to, they don't really care. They rush you, they don't do the best job, and I'm just like, you know what, I want my nails done still, but I want to be on a budget, and I also want to make sure I like the end result. So I do it myself. Okay, I will link these nails in the description of this video, but I have been going to the specific nail brand, super easy, doing it myself. If y'all want to know the process of how I do my nails, just ask me in the comment section. We could do a separate video on that. But just really, you know, your hair, your skin, all of those things of how you visually show up are a part of radiating feminine energy, but it's a part of self-care too. The last comment I'll make on self-care and making sure it's a priority is I really, really want you to take the time for yourself. I create a lot of videos on this channel about self-care and about just taking care of yourself, and it's so important for you to show up for other people. You really have to make sure that you show up for yourself. Now, sensuality is also a part of feminine energy. Now, sensuality is all about being present. Take some time to notice the things around you, the scents around you, textures, smells, sounds. All of these things is ambiance, and it's a part of what kind of puts us in our feminine energy. I am a candles person, so I love scents. I am a perfume person, so I like different fragrances. I like to have my house smelling good and clean. I like to have my car smelling good and clean. I like to have certain music on or certain podcasts on that's appealing to my senses. All of these things really do matter to put you in the place and the mindset that you really need to be in to radiate your feminine energy and to really just ground your life. That's how we can operate most in our feminine energy, when our life is organized and when we just feel okay. And the sensuality aspect kind of goes hand in hand with self-care. We really want to just overall take care of ourselves, slow down, find quiet time to to sit with ourselves and really just operate in who we are naturally as feminine beings. When you begin to notice those things around you that are appealing to your senses, it helps you to become more present and aware, allowing you to radiate calm, magnetic energy that draws others into you. Okay, so we're at the middle of this part 3. We're going to talk about being receptive and practicing gratitude. Feminine energy is naturally receptive, meaning it's all about openness and allowing things to flow. Women who always want to battle and be aggressive or argue, they naturally come off as masculine or radiating masculine energy. That's not what we're trying to do. That's not what we're trying to achieve. Nobody wants to be around that. We're calm, we're healing, we're nurturing individuals. So when we start to be aggressive and not as receptive to things and not as open-minded to things, that takes away from our feminine energy. So you want to make sure that your tone of voice is calm, it's receptive, it's welcoming. That's what's going to radiate feminine energy, and that's what's going to draw people closer to you as you are on this journey. Just be mindful how you talk to people and how you show up. This is something that the past maybe 5 years I've been on this journey to really becoming my softer self and radiating feminine energy. And when I think back on some of the encounters before I really got to this point, it was not cute. You know, I could be in a store and if something didn't go my way or if the checkout line was too long or too slow, my energy was given masculine. It was given bitter, it was given aggressive, my tone of voice was not great. I wouldn't want anybody treating me that way or talking to me that way. Even though it wasn't as bad as it could have been, it's just I was in a rough place in my life. I was on survival mode, and it just, everything kind of goes together. It's a domino effect. You know, you're not in the best place here, it kind of just shows up everywhere else. So super proud of my growth and super happy to be able to be a testimony for some women who may be watching this video and you really want to radiate feminine energy. You really want to just, again, be in your soft girl era and just have a good circle of people around you, or want people to feel good around you. And that's where I'm at. I used to not care. This information that I'm sharing with you guys is really what helped me to get to this place. Now, practicing gratitude is a beautiful way to become more receptive. When you appreciate the little details in life and the little things, and just take some time to talk to yourself about what you're grateful for, you really become more receptive to things and more open-minded. And ultimately, this is going to help you on your journey to becoming more feminine and really radiating that feminine energy, because you start to look at things different. And one thing that I can recommend to you that has helped me on this journey is to start each day with either writing or speaking out loud things that you're grateful for. Words are powerful. It really helps to ground me for the day. I am more positive, I'm more open, and my feminine energy is really radiating. Now we're in section 4. This one is big, y'all, okay? You want to embrace authenticity and vulnerability. One of the big lessons I had to learn to get to where I am now, honestly. Being authentic and vulnerable, or being able to be vulnerable, are essential aspects of feminine energy. When you get to a place where you can be honest and open about your feelings, it creates a safe space for other people to connect with you. A safe space, people can connect with you, and they can connect with you on a deeper level. So I truly struggled over the years with being able to be vulnerable, and I didn't even know it was an issue, honestly, until earlier this year when I was in therapy. My first session, she was like, sent me this video on vulnerability, and I didn't even realize it was an issue. So the woman I was in January is not the woman I am in November, because I was awakened to this thing and I was like, oh, that makes sense. And I've been operating out of strength and not being okay with being vulnerable to people because I felt like it was a weakness. I grew up around strong women, and I don't think I rarely see the women in my family cry. Honestly, I didn't feel certain embraceness, if that's a word, growing up. It was just a lot that attributed to me not being okay with being vulnerable, or me coming from where I come from, and it's like, no, you have to stand up for yourself, you have to take care of yourself, you can't let them see you fold, you know what I mean? So that was something that it hindered me a lot throughout my life, because it made me have issues connecting with people. And I only have a couple of friends that are like long-term friends, because my guard is always up. I don't trust people, I have trust issues, and that hindered me from being able to be vulnerable with people and connect with people on a deeper level. Was a hindrance. And it also made me come off as standoffish, I've been told or called, or just not as feminine energy. And I didn't even know that for like so many years of my life. So that's a real thing. Try your best to be vulnerable. I understand we're humans and we want to protect ourselves, especially if we've been burned by like friends or family members, and you're like, you know, I don't want to tell nobody my business. I don't want to open up that deep because I'm scared of somebody like, you know, crossing me or whatever. You know, be selective, but try your best to be open-minded and vulnerable. And, you know, that really is going to help you on your journey to being more feminine. How vulnerability and authenticity come hand in hand is once you feel okay and you can let your guard down to a certain extent, then you really can show up as your most authentic self. You're not trying to be someone you're not. You're just all in, like, this is me. This is how I show up. Accept me as I am. And just remember that being vulnerable is not a weakness. And I think that's something I thought my entire life is like, you know, they're not going to think I'm soft. They're not going to think I'm weak because people will try you. But no, it's okay to just be authentic, be vulnerable, show up as who you genuinely are. And the people who are meant to be in your life will be there. The people who are not won't. So I'm not saying to just be completely naive and weak to everything, but be okay with being authentic to who you are, letting your guard down, and being able to connect with people on a deeper level. That will really help you on this journey. People are really drawn to a sense of realness and courage. Okay, so the last thing I want to talk about in today's video, this step-by-step guide on really how to radiate feminine energy, is cultivating creativity and flow. When I started this video, I talked about how creativity and just flowing with things is essential to radiating feminine energy. I want to just dive a little bit deeper into that in this last part. So creativity and flow are the heart of feminine energy. Engaging in creative activities like painting or cooking or dancing, these type of things connect you with your free and playful side. And radiating feminine energy is about, you know, being like playful and flowy and looser and not as tense. And trust me, like if you know me personally and you watch this video, you know that I was definitely not that girl at one point in my life. I was just tense and I wouldn't dance, or I wouldn't, you know, my guard was always up. And that is what we can't do if we want to radiate feminine energy. We really have to like just let it flow and just stop overthinking. I think that was my biggest problem, is just overthinking. Like, no, like let's just live in the moment to a certain extent. Let's live in the moment. Let's just be free, you know, just dance and sing and be goofy. And that's going to help you as you radiate feminine energy and try to be consistent with that. Those are some things that will really help you. It's just finding your creativity and implementing more creativity into your life. I used to be so self-critical that it hindered me from being able to just flow freely. Even in pictures, I used to not take pictures because I was just like, oh my gosh, like I used to model. So pictures were big to me because I was criticized so much as a model, or, you know, you have to be so perfect that I think, you know, I didn't want to take pictures, or I didn't want to take off-guard pictures, or if it wasn't a professional photographer, I just, you know, lack of memories from that era in my life because I was just so self-critical and so if you will. Like I had a good time, but I just felt like I could have had an even better time in my 20s or my teens had I just been a little more free and flowy. And you get to a place where you can let go of the criticism of yourself and the idea of perfection, that you have to be perfect. You really get to enjoy the process of operating in your feminine energy and just living a more enjoyable life. I want you to try your best to set aside like 10 minutes a day. Do something, you know, cut on your favorite song or music video and dance. I do this literally every single day. Like one of my favorite music videos, I try to do the choreography or do my own choreography to it. It's really just adds some extra balancing to your life and to your day. It just helps you bring out that playful, feminine energy that we want to radiate. Okay, ladies, there you have it. That's my step-by-step guide. Really show up as this feminine, flowy woman. Remember, by connecting to your intuition, embracing self-care, practicing gratitude, and nurturing your creativity, you can shine with a unique energy that's truly magnetic. Thank you so much for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed this video. Please share this with a woman in your life who is really wanting to become the best version of herself, tired of living in this masculine energy. Please share this video with her. Drop a comment, and we're a community over here. So give us your tips on how you live in a more feminine energy, a more feminine space in your life. And please subscribe to my channel if you haven't already for more videos, more content on just living a more beautiful life.